Welcome back to War Archive, your gateway to the untold stories of history's greatest battles and the mysterious folk tales that time almost forgot. From the clash of empires to whispers of legends, we uncover it all, one story at a time. So, gear up, history buffs and thrill seekers, your journey into the past starts right now. Like, share and subscribe and enter a world of war, mystery, and timeless. The most feared soldier in World War II, the Ghost of Stalingrad. A War Archive original narrative. There are names the war remembers, and names it tries to forget. But in the frozen ruins of Stalingrad, soldiers whispered about a figure who belonged to neither the living nor the dead. They called him the Ghost. To the German Sixth Army, he was a nightmare made of flesh. To Soviet commanders, he was a myth born from desperation. And to the few who saw him and lived, he was the kind of legend war creates only once. This is his story. Beginning, origins of a ghost. Before the ruins, before the blood-soaked snow, before the legend. There was a boy named Alexei Volkov. Born in 1917 in a quiet village outside Leningrad, Alexei was the son of a factory worker and a school teacher. He was tall, quiet, sharp-eyed, gifted with an uncanny ability to track animals through the forests. His father said he had hunter's eyes. His mother said he had a poet's silence. But war changes every gift into a weapon. In 1941, Operation Barbarossa shattered the peaceful world Alexei knew. The German invasion came like a steel tide, burning, crushing, swallowing everything in its path. Alexei joined the Red Army, not out of patriotism, but out of grief. His village had been destroyed. His family gone. All that remained was his rifle. And the quiet. The rise of a legend. Alexei was deployed to Stalingrad in the winter of 1942, a place where the cold was sharp enough to kill and the smoke of ruined factories blackened the sky. Soldiers joked that Stalingrad was not a city, it was a mouth waiting to swallow armies whole. Within weeks, rumors spread of a lone Soviet marksman moving through the rubble like mist. A sniper who never spoke. A shadow who appeared and disappeared without warning. A hunter who killed with impossible precision. A German patrol first reported him after losing 10 men to a single unseen shooter. They claimed he could move across the battlefield without leaving footprints in the snow. They called him Der Geist, the Ghost. On the Soviet side, no one believed he existed, until the bodies piled up. Alexei didn't seek fame. He didn't even consider himself alive. He was simply a weapon shaped by tragedy. The battles that forged him. Stalingrad was not fought building by building. It was fought brick by brick, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat. Alexei's world became a ruined factory called the Red October plant. A maze of broken steel, shattered glass, and frozen corpses. The perfect hunting ground. The duel. One day, German High Command sent a sniper team, 30 elite marksmen, to eliminate the Ghost. They set traps. They occupied high positions. They waited for him. He killed them in 2 days. The last man was found with his rifle still raised, eyes open, terrified. The bullet had passed cleanly through his scope. Word spread. The myth grew. But Alexei was no hero. Each kill carved deeper into him. Each German he watched fall reopened the wound of his family. He had become what war wanted him to be, a ghost. Not a man. Alliances and betrayals. In the ruins, Alexei met Sergeant Irina Kuznetsova, a radio operator with a sharp tongue and a braver heart than any soldier in their unit. She was the first person he spoke to in months. Irina believed he could still be human. Alexei wasn't sure. Their bond became the closest thing to hope in Stalingrad. But hope is fragile in wartime. One icy morning, Alexei returned from a hunt to find Irina missing, captured by a German reconnaissance team. They intended to use her as bait, knowing the Ghost would come for her. They were right. Alexei tracked the team for 2 days. When he finally found them, Irina had been tortured but was still alive. He freed her, but not before realizing she had been forced to reveal Soviet positions. The German ambush that followed cost dozens of Soviet soldiers their lives. Irina wept, apologizing. Alexei said nothing, but his silence hurt more than any wound. War had betrayed them both. Turning point, the final hunt. By early 1943, the German Sixth Army was collapsing. Supplies were gone. Soldiers froze to death standing up. Commanders begged for reinforcements that would never arrive. But the Germans had one last weapon, a feared sniper named Matthias Kruger, the man responsible for destroying 3 Soviet infantry companies single-handedly. He was sent for one mission only: eliminate the Ghost. What followed was the greatest sniper duel Stalingrad ever saw. For 3 days, Alexei and Kruger stalked each other through burnt-out apartments, tunnels beneath factories, and snow-covered ruins. They exchanged no words, only bullets, shadows, and instinct. On the 4th day, Alexei found Kruger's position. But instead of pulling the trigger, he hesitated. Through the scope, Kruger looked exhausted. Human. Afraid. Just like him. Alexei lowered his rifle. For the first time, he questioned what he had become. But Kruger didn't hesitate. The German fired first. The bullet hit Alexei's shoulder, knocking him to the ground. Kruger repositioned for the kill shot. And then, another rifle cracked. A single Soviet bullet hit Kruger between the eyes. Irina had followed Alexei. She had saved him. She had become his ghost. The end, the ghost fades. When the German Sixth Army finally surrendered in February 1943, Stalingrad fell silent. The snow stopped. The smoke lifted. But Alexei Volkov did not return home a hero. War had eaten too much of him. He vanished from the Red Army records weeks after the victory. Some said he died from his wounds. Others claimed he walked back into the ruins, unable to live anywhere else. Irina searched for him for years. She never found a body. German veterans swore they saw him watching from the shadows long after the war had ended. Soviet soldiers claimed he still haunted the edges of battlefields, a silent figure in a winter coat. Maybe he died in Stalingrad. Maybe he lived on. Or maybe the truth is this. War creates ghosts. Some of them never leave. Closing message, a haunting conclusion. In every war, there are soldiers whose names fill the pages of history, and those whose stories slip into legend. Alexei Volkov was both. A man shaped by grief, forged in fire, and consumed by the endless hunger of battle. He reminds us that behind every myth is a person who bled. Behind every hero is a human who broke. And behind every ghost is a war that should never have happened. War leaves scars on the world, but its deepest scars are carved into the people who fight it. In the frozen ruins of Stalingrad, a legend was born, not of glory, not of victory, but of survival and the terrible cost of war. Alexei Volkov, the man they called the Ghost of Stalingrad, reminds us that even the most feared soldiers are not forged from steel. They are shaped by pain, sharpened by loss, and forever changed by the silence that follows every battle. As the echoes of gunfire fade into history, one truth endures. Wars end, but ghosts remain. If you want more untold stories, forgotten battles, and shadows of history, subscribe to the War Archive, where the past is never silent, and every legend is remembered.